Hi, welcome to the second episode of Let's Talk Comedy with Ronald Semaganda. And today I'm joined by a British Qatar-based comedian, Charles. Welcome to the show, bro.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
It's brought to you by Stand Up Comedy Qatar. Stand Up Comedy Qatar is a group of comedians in Qatar. And we always have a show. At least one show. We always have one show a month, every last Thursday of the month. This month we have a show on the 28th of March. So tickets already on sale. You can buy your ticket. So Charles, how is life in Qatar?
Yeah, it's good. It's something that I've had to adapt to a little bit, coming from the UK.
Yeah.
You know, it's not warm in the UK.
Yeah.
So that's been something getting used to. And air conditioning as well.
Air
That's
conditioning?
been something strange. Yeah.
So you haven't adopted any kind of culture from Qatar, like?
Yeah. Some.
For how long have you stayed now?
Since August.
Since
2023. Yeah.
2020. Those are like 7 months?
Yeah, 7-8 months. Yeah.
I've stayed here for 4 years now.
Yeah, that's longer.
Yeah. But when you stay for a long time, there's a way you get adapted to the culture here.
Yeah.
Now, like me, I have started adapting some words, Arabic words. Like nowadays, when I'm saying something, I use the word, my favorite Arabic word. I use inshallah. Like when I'm trying to say something, I say inshallah because it's a nice word. I think it means
God willing.
God willing.
Yes.
Like it makes you, like it helps you know that God has the better plan. So,
yes.
Comedy-wise, how you changed from music to comedy?
Yes, yes.
That change? Many comedians started with something, then later shifted to comedy.
Yes.
Just like me, I remember as a kid, as an African kid, when you're growing up, most especially our dreams are like to become a footballer.
Yeah.
So I used to do a lot of football. I went to the academies, but during my last days of education, that's when I changed. Because I remember I watched Chris Tucker hosting the BET Awards. That's when I was like, this guy is fun. I think I can do this. I think I can do comedy more than I do football. That's when I decided to change from football to doing stand-up comedy.
Yeah.
So how have you found that change? Changing from music, coming to comedy?
You know, there's a couple of things. I'm a very creative person in general.
Sure.
I've written 2 books as well.
2 books already?
Yeah. Sci-fi, fantasy.
Yeah.
I've got another one of poetry in the works.
Yeah.
And yeah, I was doing music. I've been doing music as a rock singer.
Which is your favorite instrument to play?
It's a mix between, I started with the bass guitar, but my favorite is probably the acoustic. I'm thinking eventually to combine music and comedy. So, you know, there's famous comedians. I really love Stephen Lynch, Tim Minchin, Sammy J from Australia. Those are some of the musical comedians I really love, and I'd love to emulate that.
Yeah, I've seen comedians coming with instruments and they are doing so good. So, yeah, it's a right decision. Even you can write a lot of jokes about music. I have a few good jokes about music. I like telling them. It's a big change, but comedy is better. You did the right decision.
Yeah, and we can, we can combine the things we love, and I think, it works out. But I've made a sort of pact with myself since last year, and essentially, it is to always challenge myself. And the reasoning behind it is that you never know what's going to happen. Like, you could get on a stage as a musician or as a comedian, and you don't know who's in the crowd.
Yeah, sure.
So I just want to push myself. A lot of my friends were saying, you're quite funny, go on stage, which I believe happens with a lot of comedians. Yeah. So they just said, go on stage, use your typical Britishness. And I noticed, stand-up comedy Qatar has a lot of diversity.
Sure.
Strangely, it doesn't have any British. We seem to be everywhere, but right now,
it
seems that I'm the only one.
You're the only. Actually, last year I was the only African. I was the only Black African in the group. Now we have like 3 more. So, I think many more British.
Maybe somewhat.
Yeah. You have a teaching background.
Yes, I do.
That makes it that each and every day, you are exposed to big audiences.
Yes, true.
So I think you won't have any pressure doing stage.
No. I've been on stage since I was 8 doing the music. I've been a teacher for 5, 6 years now. There's no pressure for me in front of an audience. I mean, everyone gets nervous.
Yeah.
I'm not the guy that's not nervous at all, but maybe I'm slightly more accustomed to it.
I've done comedy for a while, but I always get pressure every time I get to. Every time I'm going on stage, I feel pressure, and I think having pressure, it's one of the things that brings the best out of me. Because every time I'm frightened to go on stage, I'm like, God, I'm so scared. I have to do good, and I think. But for some people, they never get that. It's for some comedians, it's natural. They never get any pressure.
You know, the typical stage nervousness. Am I ready? Do I remember everything?
Yeah.
But in terms of the audience, never.
Okay.
Maybe we'll see with comedy. Maybe we'll have the guy that's sitting there with a stink face.
You know, comedy and music, it's kind of different.
Yep.
Like comedy, like people who come to music concerts, they know what they're going to see.
Sure.
Like maybe they've come to see a certain musician, they know their songs, they know their lyrics, they know everything. But for a comedian, you most of the times you're doing new material.
Yeah.
So you're like, will this work? Will this work? Will this known? Like you're always scared. Sometimes you're scared, like, maybe people will not receive me the way I expected.
Yeah.
Should I try this? Should I? Because nowadays comedy is changing a lot. Because with the kind of words we use on stage, you never know who's going to like the words, who's not going to like. So that's why many people find it stressing, hence bringing pressure to them.
I feel too like under pressure is where I thrive.
Yeah, sure.
And especially having the music and teaching background.
But
But
Qatar is kind of an uneasy audience. They're not like, I've seen comedy clubs all over the world. I've seen comedy clubs in America.
Yeah.
I don't know whether it's also in the UK, but I've seen Canada. Like they are violent. They are like hecklers. They throw things on stage. But
sometimes, yeah.
But Qatar is a nice audience. People like to listen. People who come to comedy shows like to listen. They so attentive.
Yeah.
They like the kind of humor people have. They don't judge a lot. That's what I've seen. They don't judge a lot. So I like doing comedy. I'm sure you're going to like it a lot.
I'm sure I will. I'm looking forward to it very much.
And how you find the climate in Qatar?
You know what? I really enjoyed the heat. The one thing I don't love is the air conditioners.
The air conditioners. Actually, I think I'm used to them now, but before I didn't.
Yeah, I don't know. It feels. I've never met a bunch of people who love being so cold. Especially coming from the UK, it's the opposite. We want to be warm.
You don't use air conditioners in the UK?
Not really, no. No.
Sure? Why is that?
Because we want to be hot. Because we're cold all the time.
Oh, it's cold all the time. Oh, it's so hot. Not like even in Africa, we don't use air conditioners.
Yeah.
First time I was under a roof which has air conditioning, it was here.
Yeah, it makes you feel weird, I don't know. But
yeah, sure.
That's the only thing. The climate outside I really enjoy. It's nice to be able to go to the beach whenever you want. It's really nice just to, sit outside, take a drink.
Have you learned any Arabic words?
Inshallah, marhaba.
What does the marhaba mean?
Marhaba is welcome.
Welcome.
I've picked up some of the bad words just so I know when the kids are being silly.
Sure.
And what for that? Oh yeah, I learned emshi. Emshi is like go away.
Go away, emshi. Stayed here for 4 years and I can't say an Arabic word except from inshallah. I don't know why, but
shukran.
Shukran, yeah, shukran. I know shukran. Arabic, it seems kind of a hard language, and
yeah, it's harder, and especially because we're acclimatized to using, left to right. It's a whole new alphabet, right to left. It's different,
Okay, I don't think I will learn any because I've stayed for so long and there's nothing I'm getting out. But it's always hard to learn a new language especially when you're an adult person already.
I think it does help for me because I was living in Spain for 2-3 years, and my wife is Spanish too, so I speak Spanish.
So which part of England you come from?
I'm from Liverpool. Well, I'm from a very small town called St. Helens, but no one knows that. So I'm from
Liverpool. You support Liverpool, Everton?
I support Hull City.
Oh, Hull City is also from Liverpool?
No, Hull City is on the East Coast. It's where I went to university.
Oh, so you support Hull City.
They're having a good season, actually. They're currently 7th.
Hull City?
In the Championship, yeah.
In the Champions?
It's possible, maybe a promotion, but...
It's already late. I think so. I think it's already late.
Yeah, we'll see. Okay. Leeds, it's between Leeds, Ipswich, and Leicester at the top. But then you have the playoffs, 3, 4, 5, 6.
How is it like you come from Liverpool, then so you supported Hull City after joining?
Yeah, when I went to university. My dad is a die-hard Manchester United fan.
And he's from Liverpool?
He's from the town between Liverpool and Manchester, yeah.
My dad is a die-hard Liverpool fan, but for me, I'm a Manchester United fan.
That's fine. I have a lot of environment of sports around, which is nice. It keeps me healthy. Like
when we us growing up, we were like in Uganda, we are so much into the Premier League.
Yeah.
So like I grew up in a family where my dad is supporting Liverpool and I'm supporting. So it was always controversy. Even up now, when Liverpool wins a game, first thing he does rushes WhatsApp me. You see what we do? Then yesterday we beat them.
Yeah, you had the upper hand yesterday.
Yeah, yesterday, and now he hasn't talked to me. Since yesterday, he hasn't talked to me.
Oh, yeah, it's good. Football is a very interesting thing. It can bring people together.
Now, you come from a country which has a bigger background of entertainment.
Yes.
Movies, you're doing good movies, music.
Yeah.
Comedy. Who's the biggest stand-up comedian from Britain?
Oh, right now I couldn't actually tell you. There's a lot of mixed names, I guess. John Bishop's up there. He's from Liverpool. I don't know if he's touring at the minute. You have Sarah Millican. She's quite famous. Ricky Gervais. Yeah, he's really big. Yeah. His name's slipping my mind now, but the guy that does carpool karaoke, James Corden. James Corden's very big.
James Corden. Yeah, I know him.
Yeah, those are.
But he doesn't do that. He does stand up.
I think he started doing stand up. I don't think he does it anymore. Jimmy Carr is very big.
Oh, yeah.
Jimmy Carr's he's a one-liner comedian. He's good. Yeah, I mean, my favorite comedian is a guy called Randy Feltface, and he is a purple puppet. He's literally a puppet.
Oh, yeah, that's funny.
But he's very funny. He's very philosophical and deep and thoughtful, and just the way that his comedy works is perfect for me because it's like psychological, philosophical, deep, but with this twist on sort of nihilism and existentialism. I like that.
I remember starting comedy, my favorite was Kevin Hart.
Yeah, Kevin Hart's great.
Yeah, but
he just came here actually.
Yeah, he was here this month. My favorite was Kevin Hart, but then later I've started liking Trevor Noah more.
Trevor Noah's good.
Yeah, because he's so calm on stage. Yeah, like I think most of the times I'm going to stage if I have a performance, maybe a week before, I start rewatching because now I've watched all of his specials, his clips, but I try rewatching this to understand what he's doing, the movement he does on stage is not too much, the way he holds the microphone, like he's so calm. And there's one other guy, it's called Rafael Barbosa.
I've recognized the name actually, yeah.
Rafael Barbosa, yeah? Like he's so good, he's so calm. Like I'm learning a lot from them. They're doing good comedy. I like the way their storylines. They're so nice. The way their punchlines, the specials, it's so crazy. Like Trevor Noah's now, the What Now podcast. So are you checking it out on Spotify?
I've not seen the podcast yet. No, I should.
It's so nice. Recently he had Kevin Hart. Yeah, he had Idris Elba. Oh, wow. It's a nice podcast. You should check it out.
Yeah, I've recently got into a guy called Andy Haynes. I don't know if you know him.
No, not yet.
He's very deadpan, like very, very calm, but his delivery is sort of deadpan, monotone, and the way he does it is perfect.
I think I'll check him out.
He's from Seattle, but he does all these jokes about how he's a liberal guy, but in a conservative family. Yeah, it's very good.
Which one is your favorite comedy special?
Oh, comedy. Randy writes a novel. Definitely. That is Randy Feltface, the puppet.
Yeah.
He's pretending to have written a book.
Okay.
And the whole show is him trying to read this book to the audience to gauge their reaction, but constantly being too scared to do it, and therefore telling jokes to the audience. It's really, really well done. And the thing I love about it is it got pirated and put on YouTube illegally.
Oh, illegally. Oh,
but sorry. Then what he did was just released all of his specials free, and all of his shows sell out. So all his specials are free on YouTube. So Randy Writes a Novel, Smug Juggles, all of the comedies specials are free, but his shows sell out all the time.
His shows sell out.
It's just crazy. So obviously he's a marketing genius.
Yeah. I think I should. I also planning to doing a show about a special. I think I would, since it's my first, I'd like to just upload it on YouTube.
Yeah, I would. I think it's good. You maximize your audience in that sense.
Yeah. My favorite special of all time is Seriously Funny by Kevin Hart. You ever watched it before?
I've not seen that one, no.
So great. Like, I think it was maybe his first special. Seriously Funny. He played around his kids, his uncles growing up from a poor family. Like, he had his interaction with the audience, because he did a good joke about with LeBron James was in the audience. Then he did a joke about one of the match LeBron James played. It was so crazy, and I think he does specials like Laugh at My Pain. You ever watched Laugh at My Pain?
I've heard of it, but I've not seen it.
They're so good. You should check them out.
Yeah, I will. Are they available on Netflix?
Yeah, Netflix. Mostly Netflix. Any new types of food you meet here, like you've never tried before?
Yeah, we tried majboos.
I haven't tried that one yet.
It's very nice, but...
Is it rice?
It is, and it's very similar to paella from Spain. You've probably heard of paella.
Not yet.
No, the Spanish food? Paella. It's rice, chicken, rabbit, saffron.
Rabbit?
Yeah, Spanish people eat rabbit. In Spain, rabbit is... In paella is popular.
I've never tried rabbit meat before. Sure.
I can't really describe it as anything. It's sort of like gamey, I guess. There's no... It's not special, but paella itself is special because of the way it's cooked. It's cooked in a very big dish called a paella dish. It's cooked on an open fire, a real fire. And the way that it's cooked is over, I think, 5 or 6 hours, maybe more. You know, it's constantly moved, and it's just a very... If you go to Spain...
okay, sure. I think the food here, I find it spicy.
It is too spicy.
It's too spicy, but right now I'm used to it. 4 years here.
I went to a restaurant not too long ago with my wife, and the meat's beautiful, okay? Yeah. But we said to the guy, can we have the medium portion, not very spicy? And he brought us like this, the meat and the rice.
Yeah.
And then we took a little bite, and it was really, really hot. And we said to the guy, this is not spicy and this is medium. He was like, yeah. If this is not spicy, I don't want to know what the spicy is.
Yeah. One thing I know, they have many types of rice.
Yeah.
Like, is it like in Africa, we only have like 2 types of rice: white rice, brown rice. But here it's too much. You go to a restaurant, like you need rice.
Yes.
Can I have rice? Like, which type of rice? How many types of rice you have? Like the guy will be like, biryani. Like, okay, bring biryani. Then which type of biryani? Like, I want chicken biryani. I'm like, which type of chicken biryani?
Yeah.
These people have too many types of rice here.
There's a lot of types. Yeah. I mean, in Spain they have different types too, but you know, it's good. One thing I will say is it's cheaper here.
It's cheaper.
Living in London was expensive.
It's expensive, but it's your country.
Yeah. If you live somewhere like Liverpool or Hull, I guess, you know, things are a bit cheaper.
Yeah.
But we lived in London for 4 years, and the prices there are high.
Okay.
I mean, your rent alone, you're looking at maybe £2,000, including your bills, but just to live somewhere, £2,000 is, I don't know what. It's a lot of real. It's like 17,000 real. It's 10,000 riyal, sorry. But that's just your rent.
You just know the situation is not good when it's hard for you to, when it's hard to live in your own country.
Yeah. I mean, like, there's great things about Britain. And there's things that I love and that I'll always carry with me.
Yeah.
I think British people are some of the most polite. I think that's a worldwide renowned thing.
Yeah.
I think we're some of the most well-spoken and the most well-educated. Yeah. But there's also things that I really wanted to escape.
Sure.
Yeah, the cost of living is too high.
And all of us, most of us, we want to go to the UK. like when you're an African who grew up from Africa, one of your biggest dream is like, I wish I can move to the UK.
Yeah, and that's fine. I absolutely, I believe very strongly in
community. So, like the community in Qatar compared to that of it, but I think it's a bit similar because Qatar has many people from different, like people from different countries have been coming to Qatar, and I think the kind of people who are in Qatar, it's the same kind of people and it's not like in my country where only Ugandan nationals are in the country. Yeah. Like it's hard to find foreigners in my country.
Yeah, in the UK, it kind of depends where you are, but in major cities, yeah, definitely. In Liverpool, you can find Spanish, French, Germans, Africans, Asians.
But in some cities, no, it's mostly British people.
Mostly small towns. So the town I grew up in, actually, it was 99.2% white Protestant. I didn't actually see a BAME, a black or ethnic minority, until I was maybe in year 5, until I was about 10. So that's something here that's very different. But, my town, it's not a big town. It's a smaller town. It's got a decent population, but it's not like Manchester. It's not Liverpool. It's not a major city. So we didn't have the same mix that the big cities have. And, yeah, but that also brings its own, material to work with. So it's different things.
So what do you think Qatar has to do? Like, we don't have any big name comedians here, or maybe we have like 1 or 2.
Yes,
but the local comedians. But what do you think can be done for local stand-up comedians to get a bigger platform, maybe to perform with when the big comedians like Kevin Hart comes to Qatar?
Yeah, I think one, it's important to remember that Qatar, for all intents and purposes, still is a growing country. It's doing great. Like, it's one of the richest countries in the world, but on a global scale, it's not, entertainment-wise, I'm talking about, it's not quite at the same level as the UK, the US, Canada,
not yet.
Even Australia and China and Japan are quite far ahead in that way. So I think there needs to be a bit of funding, I guess. Not that I'm begging the government for money. What I'm saying is there's limited venues.
There's limited venues.
That's one, factor that can hinder, I guess. More support for helping with advertising would be great. Just also, it's becoming more open. There's more and more people every day coming tourist-wise, or even to live here.
Yeah.
And I think being able to advertise to those people, those expats, and the Qataris themselves, to say, look, these are the shows, come, enjoy, experience that mix of culture and that mix of comedy. Yeah. It's something unique that really is a big selling point, particularly for stand-up comedy Qatar, where we have Africans, Europeans, Asians. That mix of comedy, I don't think you'll find it anywhere else in such an intimate setting. So they should use that as a selling point.
Yeah, because we've seen like a lot of sectors, they have got that opportunity. I think the comedians themselves, we the comedians, have to use the chance, because we're in the time where Qatar is growing so fast. It has given a chance to many sectors sports, or like football, Formula One, boxing, MMA fights. So I think this is a time where comedians have to rise up and maybe I just see stand-up comedy on a higher level, maybe in 2 years to come, or 1 year, or 2 years, or 3 years, just by comedians working a lot, working hard.
Yeah.
Only some of the factors that have hindered the industry from growing is like people come and go. So this is a country where people come and they go. So when maybe someone puts in a lot of work to take the industry a bit up, and then he has to leave.
Yeah.
So leaving stand-up, maybe because maybe the venues behind, the industry behind,